Hey guys, it's Allison. Today's Wednesday and it's Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. I had a request to do a video on when my eating disorder started and like what the progression has been. And it's funny because as I've been thinking about it since I got the email request, I was thinking, I'm not sure how many videos this might take. It might come in pieces. So it might not all be on this video, or it might, I don't know. I don't know how long-winded I could get about this, but so I was trying to think back to when it really started. And it's funny because I actually think that I came out of the womb with an eating disorder. Um, my parents will both tell me to this day that like I was a difficult eater, even as like an infant and toddler, and even growing up. Like I didn't want to take a bottle. I didn't want to eat baby food. I think it was kind of like when you're that young, though, it just becomes one of those like failure to thrive situations. And I don't know, how conscious you are of it, but I mean, I can remember being fully conscious of what I was doing as early as like 8, and being just aware of my body and aware of food's ability to make you bigger or smaller, or and I was in gymnastics. Sorry. So, I always wanted to be small, and I thought if I was small, like, I would be better. And I've always been this like compact little package, all through like elementary school and middle school and high school, because of my eating disorder. I never really grew until I did maintain or got into some kind of recovery and maintained it for a little bit of time in order for my body to heal. So I think that is when I can think about it, that's when it originally started. Now, there's been all kinds of like manifestations of it. I don't think that anybody who ever has an eating disorder can say, oh, like, I started out like this and it has stayed the same for 30 years. There might be people like that. Like, I don't personally know any of them. I know mine is totally different now than it was 2 years ago or 10 years ago or when I first started. So I think it's just one of those things that there's like an ebb and a flow to it, and it doesn't ever stay the same. So, I remember being so young and just being aware of everything. And I would eat like 3 things growing up. And I remember, and they were like unhealthy things. Like, my mom could get me to eat like chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, and those little Vienna sausages. And to this day, when I see those in the store, it's like I throw up in my mouth because I can't believe that, like, I would eat that. But it's like anything else, I wouldn't touch. And I was very rigid around food. I wouldn't try new things. I don't think that I tried new things really until I got into the military, when I was 25. And you don't really have a choice if you want to eat and stay alive and survive and keep your job. And I would like somebody to tell people in the military, oh, I don't like that. Like, I would like to see how well that would go over. And so, it progressed from there. Just little things of like, maybe I just need to tone up, or, maybe I'll just eat this, or maybe I'll just, swim a little farther, or work out a little harder, or run a little further. I remember one of the stupidest things I ever did was in high school when I hated running, and I joined the track team just to lose weight. I thought, well, damn it, like that was one more thing that like where my eating disorder was totally controlling my mind. And it was hell. Like, I hated it. And it sucks to think about how many things that I've done in my life because it made me do it, and just things that I haven't enjoyed. And so it's a very complicated question. Not that it's complicated, but to get it into a small, compact answer. Like, I don't think there's a short answer for me to give you guys. And then, I know that after I went to treatment the first time, I remember learning how to be bulimic in treatment. And that was probably the worst thing I've ever learned in my life. Because it's destroyed my life. And it isn't one of those things where everybody's like, well, just stop. I feel so empowered when I can like eat whatever I want and throw it all up. And but yeah, so after staying in a inpatient or residential treatment center, I learned how to throw up. And so I came home with a whole nother slew of problems when I was 18. And like, that shit will make you crazy in your head. And so, eating like mass quantities of food and figuring out where to throw it up. And it's like you are at mercy to something else. And everything just sort of shifted for me. Like, I had no direction. I had nothing. I was bouncing around all these stupid jobs. And my life sucked. And so it's funny that like everything I remember about my life, when I think about it, I was like, oh, well, I weighed that much, or I was size blah, blah, blah. And that's like, who cares? Like, who thinks like that except to me? Well, I mean, not except me. Like, I know that there's plenty of other people out there, but the quote unquote normal person doesn't walk around thinking, oh, well, I weighed this when blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It's been a long, winding road, and it's destroyed plenty of my relationships. It's made the relationship with my family tumultuous. I have no relationship with my sister. She hates me. Which means in turn I don't have a relationship with my niece and nephew. And it's really sad. But when it comes down to it, I'll always pick my eating disorder. And I don't know why there's something so reassuring about it. And I think, I feel like I've gained and lost and gained and lost and gained and lost the same 30, 40, 50 pounds. And, I've taken the laxatives and the diuretics and drank the Ipecac and taken the diet pills. And I'm pretty sure there isn't anything that I haven't done. And it breaks my heart that I've literally like put my life on the line for something so obscure. Like, there's no prize at the end, It doesn't matter in my grave how much I weigh. And to think of, when you think of it in the big picture like that, it's very disheartening. And I don't like talking about this because it makes me emotional because I feel like I'm just like a waste of space, and that I've wasted my life, that these 33 years that I can own this far have been nothing but a waste. And I'm looking at the time that I've been talking, and I'm probably not going to be able to like keep going to where my progression is now on this video, so I'll have to make a part 2, and I'll probably do it tomorrow, honestly. um but this is the start of the request that I had, and so part 2 will come tomorrow. And if you have any other requests, concerns, comments, suggestions, anything else, just leave them below. And I will post part 2 tomorrow. And happy Veterans Day. Talk later. Bye, y'all.